If y'all could turn your mics on so we can get started. Phil. It's 6 o'clock.
Good evening, y'all. It's now 6 o'clock, and so we'll begin our meeting. And I don't have my usual spiel to run through to advise y'all about our whole purpose and everything, but so I ask y'all apologies for that. But we normally take the in the order of business, we take you in the order that you have applied. So the first one that applied is the first one that goes. And we have one today that is from the last time. It's a redo. So we'll take that first as old business and then move into the new ones. So first order of business is approval of the minutes from last month. All, favor that,
There was a misspelling in there somewhere.
okay. Fine.
Towards the end
I
somewhere.
think it was on 408.
Can y'all make sure your mics are on, please?
What?
Can y'all make sure your mics are on and that you're
Yep,
speaking into
they're
them,
on.
please?
They're all green.
Okay.
I think the typo was on 408 Sumter.
408 Sumter.
Yeah, it just,
I'll look
Just
at
a
it.
misspelled word.
Gotcha.
I believe it was paint.
Yeah, it says pain.
Yeah.
Oh,
PAIN instead of paint. Oops, big whoop.
Okay.
and did I
think
have a
that is an
second?
approval of the minutes.
Did I have a second? I didn't hear.
I'll second.
Oh, and you said you're okay, Nancy, so, and Beth, and David made the one, and I say it's okay, so.
Okay.
That's, I'm not gonna ask you since you were here. Our first one is 408 Sumter Avenue. And
So
this-
she's not here tonight. This is just a paint color approval for 408 Sumter. So if there's any discussion, y'all can go ahead. But for anyone who wasn't at the previous meeting, this is the house in question.
I've got a question. On the printout, I printed it out so I can look at it at home. And it looks like the top three are completely different than the bottom three boards. Which,
Yeah,
colors.
there was an alternate.
There are
There
two
was an
colors.
alternate given as a color.
Okay.
Two colors.
I believe this was the pink mimosa. And then the bottom color is the lighter.
is the Pinkney, I believe.
Okay, the pink is the bottom.
Mhm.
Okay. The pinkney is the bottom. And the
Okay.
pink mimosa is the top.
Any discussion? She's not here because she
Did you
been
get any
diagnosed with COVID.
She's
So-
sick, so she can't
Okay.
be here.
Did you get any feedback from the other members who are not here?
I did. They can't vote by proxy. Rachel was the only one who gave me feedback. She said that she did not prefer either colors.
Well, I'm with her on that. I would prefer an even lighter color of pink or returning to the original or the current color of the house.
David, has the house been another color besides the yellow in the past?
The survey has it as white.
As white? Okay.
I'm going to be the odd one here. Those colors are approved for historic Charleston in the historic district. I guess what I'm thinking is this is the light color, the pinky color, to me is subtle enough that to me, it would be fine if that's what they want. And it's set back off the street. It's a little bit in shade. It's not going to be up glaring, like there's a bright pink door on Sumter that grabs your attention. I don't, you know, for me, this would not grab my attention like that. But I'm in the minority.
Not necessarily.
It's a lot of pink. I think when.
It says the lady in pink.
Yes, yeah.
Did I
It's
say
not that color.
Different on the shirt.
Yeah.
Are they definitely proceeding with the project?
Pending your approval or denial, yes.
Any other comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the Pinckney. No one will agree with me.
Well, we got two colors. You want to pick one or the other?
The Pinckney is the one I would go with, not the bright one mimosa.
That's the one I would choose as well, because it just wouldn't be as.
Mhm.
If I had to choose one, that's the one I'd choose.
Yeah.
I will abstain.
I need a second.
I'll second so we can take a vote.
All right. Go ahead and take a vote. David,
Abstain.
Nancy,
Positive. I agree.
You're
Yeah.
abstaining?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you said Nancy. Sorry.
No.
What did you say?
I'm asking you, yes or no?
Yes.
That
And we're voting on the Pinckney?
on the low, the lighter.
Yes.
I'm gonna abstain since I'm first meeting on this.
You would do that to me, wouldn't you? I really don't want to vote on it.
What is he saying?
I'll vote yes on the low, the lighter one.
On the Pinckney.
Yeah, the light pink. So that's 3-4, 2 abstain. I guess we'll say it goes.
I can't hear you, Phil.
I guess it will say it goes. We got
Yes,
three,
Eyes
2.
have it.
All right.
All right.
Our next one is 301 East Richardson. Please come up and tell us about it.
Good evening. Rich Robinson at 301 East Richardson, and we're looking to have a privacy fence between our neighbor that's on Gum Street. So it would be the back of our property. So if you're on Richardson, it'd be the property back towards Gum Street. And initially, we had proposed the fence that the Dorchester Children's Center has, which is just the stockade, dog-eared privacy fence that goes along our whole side of the property there. And then with some wise counsel from Becca, asked if we could offer some alternates. So I sent a few pictures of alternates, and that's what we would humbly request.
I noticed that you're, at least the picture showing there is showing it full height going all the way to the street. We usually ask that the fence steps down as you come to the street. Did you give that any consideration?
Yes, sir. We would actually prefer that. I think it was initially proposed as just the privacy fence, but we'd certainly like the visibility. So our thought was that it would either slant down or just step down to whatever, I guess you would tell us what the height should be at street or what that slope should be.
What about the issues you brought up in the packet you sent us about DOT sight lines.
So the visibility triangle, and I hadn't gone over this with
Sure.
you just yet. Basically, so if you look at your screen here, let me zoom in a little bit. So the driveway for 107 Gum runs right along the property line almost. So basically within 15 feet this way and 15 feet this way from the point of their driveway, not necessarily the property line, but their driveway, there cannot be anything built within that triangle.
Okay.
So you would need to move, either halt the fence entirely, or you would need to just move it diagonally across that corner.
Could we, so we could stop it 15 feet short of the roadway? Or would it?
15 feet from where their driveway meets the right of way. So you've got quite a wide right of way there, it looks like, on this side at least.
Mhm.
But so yes, so 15 feet from, let's say their driveway, is right here.
Mhm.
The triangle would move 15 feet this way, 15 feet this way, and then connect.
Is it 15 feet from where the driveway meets the street or from the property line?
From the
Because
right
it-
of way. So
Property
where,
line.
so from where the right of way right here, so if the drive meets right there,
Okay,
then it would have to be 15 feet in each direction. So it might not actually be 15 feet on, from the property line into your property. I can come out there too and kind of show you,
Sure.
and we can measure it.
And may I ask, would that be applying just to the 6-foot privacy fence and then we could have a lower fence for it? Is it just
Unfortunately,
visibility?
yeah, for the ordinance, it doesn't allow anything to be built in that area. I
Sure.
did not realize that their driveway was right there. I thought it was on the other side.
Yeah.
And then I went out there and I saw that it was closer to
Mhm.
your property.
Yeah. I think we'd be agreeable to that. Yeah. There's no other option, so that would be fine with us.
It does solve the issue of stepping down, or it being too tall. Y'all could still ask it to be stepped down to a certain point, but with it being a good distance, because again, you have to remember that right of ways there. This Dorchester County image grab isn't always super accurate,
Mhm.
but it's a good chunk of right of way there.
Sure.
I did not see the other fence selections.
I did not receive another selection.
It should be an email. Do you want me to forward it right to you or?
That's fine.
Okay,
I mean, if you have it on your phone, you can show it to the board members.
sure. Well, let me see if I can send it right to you and then you'll have it with the pictures. Okay, it should be coming to you now. Probably be easier to see up there than on. Did that work?
Um, okay.
If not, I can pull it up here.
Yeah, I'll have to get out of this and log in. So it might be easier for you to
Sure.
just show the board members and then I can have it on file.
I'll hand you my phone. It's there. Number 1 shows the fence that's at the one side of our property with Dorchester Children's Center. Number 2 and number 3 are the 2 options we're looking at. We'd love to keep it natural or a natural wood stain if at all possible, but I'll let you.
So number 2 and 3 are the ones.
I'm sorry, Rich, they went to my junk mail.
Oh, no, that's all right. No problem.
The third time that's happened this week. I'll make sure I mark it as not junk.
They're both
I guess. That's one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either one of them is fine.
So
Idea
we're
was
just
trying to
doing
get
2
away
and
from that
3.
stock.
So there's no 1, there's just 2 and 3.
As opposed to the stockade fence.
Yeah.
Stockade. fence,
Oh,
dog
yeah,
eared
yeah.
fence, which
Yeah.
Becca, can you scoot over to the, where it shows the fence on the other side of Gum? Their neighbor,
Oh, so across
This is-
this,
that's
yeah,
the-
across the
that's
street. I was gonna see
existing-
what type of fence they
that's
have.
the fence and-
don't know if
That
I
was what we were
have-
trying to get a picture of because we really like that design.
Yeah, it's
Um,
nice looking.
Yeah, it
On the other
was,
side.
Oh,
we
This
just
is on
didn't have
the
a
other-
picture
I
of
don't
it.
know. if
someone
I-
else's property.
I see,
Yeah,
it's like you
yeah,
can barely
what we're
see it
looking
right
at is
here.
the
It's a
fence that
wrought
fence in the street
iron,
out
looks
here.
like.
Well,
Oh,
where it
back here.
joins to the back
Okay.
fence.
Oh, okay, because I wrote.
I don't know if I have a
Yeah.
picture of that, but I
Well, I
A
can.
think-
little bit like number
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see where
That-
it was gonna
that
go.
fence
Looks like
it'll
it goes all the way to
intersect
the
with,
corner.
I mean, it'll 90
I
degrees.
think because it's kind of a see-through fence.
Would you like your phone back,
Rich.
sir? You want
Your
your phone back? Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
So this is the,
Oh, so that's.
Actually, that's similar to, I think, number 2, in the ones I showed you.
Yeah, that's similar to.
Both of the fence selections are very nice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, and definitely an improvement over the other one. I could go either way. So that's, I don't know how you all feel.
Either way.
Either
for
way.
me.
Mhm.
So,
Village. Can
You
we
choose
can
what
we
you
go-
like.
Can we do an either or?
and I guess
Mhm.
let Becca know which one you
So
choose.
Both of them look good.
They're both very nice and finished looking.
When
And
we
is
do a
that
motion,
okay
it
with
allows
the
them to do
natural
either
wood?
one.
Or with a stain or, okay.
I would think because it tends to darken
Yeah.
as it ages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That would help you out too.
Thank you.
Trip, do you have a preference? Do you have a preference between 2 or 3?
I prefer 3. I think my wife would prefer 2 for budget, but if I can have the courtesy of choosing either, that would probably help me tremendously.
That works for me.
Yeah, we have a motion,
I so move.
second.
I'll second.
Please answer yea or yes or no. Beth,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes,
David,
Yes,
Jerry,
yes.
and I say yes. So
Thank you.
So
And
Becca,
I'll-
he'll just need to let you know what he chooses, which
Mhm.
one.
Okay.
yeah, and if you need me to come out and kind of go over the site triangle thing, or I have an exhibit that I should have had on here
Okay.
that kind of visually explains it. And I'll actually do a specific one for your property.
Okay, thank
That
you.
way it makes a little bit more sense and you're not looking at someone else's property trying to
Okay.
figure it out. But I'll
Sounds
send
good.
that to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Beth.
Mhm.
Thank you all.
You're
Appreciate it.
next item is 101 Briarwood.
And y'all just tell me if you want me to jump around to different pictures.
If you ever seen the 5%
wanted to ask what that.
Me too.
All right, so basically, what do y'all need to know?
Just tell us about it.
Okay, so we're gonna, single family home, it's basically already been built, kind of behind that on Marion Street. And I made a picture of it, I don't know if it was on your thing. Basically, it's a
Yeah.
little plan that's gonna be on that. There were maybe a few minor changes to the back of the house. We added like a sunroom, There are actually bedroom ends, gonna make a French door to go out into that room. You know, where all the windows are.
Yeah.
Right there in the back, that was the sunroom, and then on the other side, there was just a deck, kind of stoop porch, not very big at all, but it will extend to the end of the house on that side as well, to kind of square off the house, and it will be a deck for, you know, for a full small deck for cooking out. Garden plank on the outside, white. I have completed the little barn structure that is on that property now and living in that. And we're going with the basic same color scheme as what's on there, but with the house white. So the same green on that barn structure. I did not come to the bar for that, but I think there was discussion. This with, so that's the side, this is the front of it at this point. So it's basically close to a Charleston green. It's not really the Charleston green, but it's within a hair of it. But not gonna do that. That's gonna be shutters in the front door, back door.
I'm not familiar with fiber cement finish. Please help me understand what that is.
It's the hardy plank board that, you know, most of them are built with today.
So it's the new, I guess, standard as part of the UDO for the town, obviously with historical, no vinyl siding, it's fiber cement. I didn't bring a sample of it, unfortunately. On a job site, went to go grab some, we got pulled somewhere else, but it's what we see on all the new construction. So like down by Parkwood and Noisette area, where those homes are going up by Germantown Road, all that new construction, is fiber cement.
But is it going up as clabbered?
Yeah, so it'll go up, it'll be nailed and then it'll overlap, it'll be smooth. You can either do smooth or wood grain. I did, I know it's ancient, 208 Southampton, Nadine and Benjamin Miller's house a few years ago, and presented in front of the board then for that. So we used the same materials with the clad windows, with the fiber cement siding. We did a new straight black architectural shingle roof for this one. I brought in the actual sample board for that. I know the chimney is sort of in play right now. Laura's preference is brick. Obviously, brick is going to be a little bit more expensive than if we just hardy it. I'd like to see, you know, maybe look at the budget. If we can go with brick from both the first floor and then up through that roof line, we'll do the brick for it. Windows, like I said, will be the true clad. They won't be what they call that GBG, grid between glass type setup. The vinyl builder windows will be a Gelblin or Anderson product. Again, depends on availability right now.
So with simulated divided light?
Yes. So that they won't be those sort of faux looking vinyl ones that you see. Shutters, of course, will have the appearance of being operable. They won't be vinyl shutters. We'll probably field build them either with treated material or to make a composite material that will stand the test of time a little bit better. Hand in hand with the fiber cement. And then around the brick foundation, like we did on Nadine's, we'll do the, or around the crawl space foundation, we'll do the brick for that as well.
So I did bring
I don't see
two
the
different
shutters.
versions of the shutter, which we're trying to, my old house had a typical louver shutter with the S dog. things.
Right.
I would do that if that's what's necessary, but I know it's got that barn on the back of the lot has the barn structure. I'm leaning toward doing the barn style on there in that Charleston green rather than just the typical, louver.
Right.
I know that's more Charleston and Somerville look, because, and that's what I had on my old house. But I think because of the barn structure, I think the feel of that little unique piece of property.
Yeah, I see it.
So also, but we still have the S dog on
Right,
The hard.
the hardware, yeah.
Where are you putting the shutters? Just
That
on,
would be on all the front windows. There's so many windows on the sides of the house, I'm
Yeah.
not sure there's room. to put
But it looks-
outside.
So her plan, just on the porch, just on the downstairs porch, right there, those two sets.
So here they're indicated as light colored. The light colored things we see beside the windows, those are your shutters on the front elevation.
Yeah, yes and no. It depends on the thickness there, but where she's got the mouse, right? Yeah, those are
Uh-huh.
the shutters right there. The
Mhm.
rest would just be detail trim,
Mhm.
all fiber cement.
well, I don't have a problem with most of it. I do have a problem with the box chimney with clapboard. That is not, to me, appropriate for a house that is attempting to fit into the historic district. And I think, you could stucco it. If you wanted to save on brick. But I don't think the rest of this really looks nice, but I don't think that, going to a very modern adaptation, which is these clapboard surrounds of a chimney flue, is appropriate in the district.
I like brick too. Brick sinks.
Yeah, so I think when we were first talking, we sort of defaulted back to possibly doing fiber cement. Cost wise, stucco, personally, I'm not a big fan of it as a builder. Take a look at, a lot of the big hotels that you're seeing torn apart these days, as well as residential single family. Again, it's changed over the last 10 years, don't get me wrong, but I see stucco, especially being that high from a maintenance perspective, more going to be an issue for the homeowner later on down the road. Brick, somewhat similar, porous, but you can seal it where you're not going to get that water intrusion with just a very small crack. So we just defaulted back to fiber cement, like Laura said. If brick is the way that the council wants to go on it, we can make sure that we put brick up there. That's no problem.
I agree with Rick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, I can tell you the stucco will stay there for a long time.
Oh, sure.
I mean, my chimney was redone after the earthquake, and the person that stuccoed it actually scratched the date in it. So I know it was put on there in 1866.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So I would say that would be a longevity. And then you could use block or whatever
Underneath it.
beneath it. Yes.
Yeah, you could even put thin brick on as a veneer.
Yeah, and that's a weight situation. Ironically, with thin brick, it's just as expensive, sometimes even more, because they've got to fabricate it and they slice them. But yeah, that could be something that we look at as well as for an option. So I mean, I'm fine with doing brick, not a problem.
Did you say you were using brick somewhere else?
So
The first one.
Around the foundation.
around the foundation.
Okay.
We'll have
Yes,
it sink.
And you'll still have the louver vents?
yes.
At the
we'll
back.
do- Yeah, we'll do the vents for the porch, not a big deal.
Uh-huh.
Then sometimes we'll end up with more throughout the course of the foundation for ventilation.
Mhm.
Architecturally versus engineer wise, they don't always match up. So we can definitely, having more is fine, especially around those front and back porches. And then around the back, it would be, at the discretion of the engineer for that ventilation.
Yeah. Regarding the shutter detail, yeah, I would prefer a paneled or louvered shutter. But, one of the issues with louvered shutters, and I got 28 pair of them, is they get beat to hell by the weather. But the ones that are on the porch last forever. And so you're only dealing with 4 pair that are on the porch. So you might want, if the issue is longevity of the shutters, cost wise and worrying about replacing them, the ones on the porch will last forever. Ones on the rest of the house, not.
And it's only 4.
The material composite for the shutters is irrelevant, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if we use a composite or wood, right? As long as it has that logo.
Any other?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's little shutter
A
dogs.
nice, it's a nice touch.
And
Always nice to see those details.
Mhm. I never knew that's what they were called. Nice touch.
I wanted to ask about the detail on the bottom part of the columns on the porch. Is that intended to be a panel?
So the way it's drawn, you're right, so we would do probably an 8x8 post there. One manufacturer's Cox, COX, the Cox column. And then we would come in and then as we do the rail part, we would then put that raised look on it. So that would be field built.
I think that is a very nice touch.
Mhm.
And then looks like it's got a cap at the top, maybe a little piece of federal molding, and then at the bottom typically we would just do a solid 1x6.
Exposed rafter tails. It's good.
And the transom is over the front door? Is that,
Yeah, so that would be a 6'8" door and then transom piece of glass for
Mhm.
that. Again, you know, the craftsman style door would be more of a dental, probably about maybe at 6 foot, give or take, and then the glass divided up into panes. But in that case, I think we can get that double transom like that with the mullion door down there.
It's nice.
Your
Mhm.
door, are your doors painted or they're natural
They're
or?
gonna be painted, the dark.
Okay.
Dark color of the barn.
Yeah,
And the-
yeah.
The shutter will be that same color. Which one was that? The third, yeah. This one.
Yeah,
This
so
dark,
The rock bottom would
it's the
be,
same. That's what I-
I've got the actual. spot.
What's
I
on
just
the
don't have
outside of
Charleston
the-
light.
barn structure.
I bet that color does change
It
all
does.
during the day.
It does, and closer to the evening, it's a gray color.
Yeah.
Closer, all the rest of
Hmm.
the day, it's dark green, all, just a hair from Charleston green, but I wouldn't be able to see that. Smidgen of green, but not black.
So all the siding will be that color.
No.
No.
siding's gonna be white.
Oh, good. I
No,
feel
yeah,
better.
Charleston
Okay.
white. That's part of the
I missed that.
historical color packet
Mhm.
and the two Sherwins I went to.
Yep,
did
gotcha.
that.
Yeah, I
That's
love
gonna be
that.
outside.
Yeah. That'll be great.
No, that's too dark for that.
That colors on the screen is not right for Charleston White.
And the door will be
Right,
that
right.
big.
It's,
The front door, back door, and shut it to that. Now, if we put like a screen door on the front and back, which I've thought about, that could be the green color, that light green color. Yeah, those will blank,
Are the,
or like a screen door
mhm, mhm.
thing,
Mhm.
but
are the windows, the mullions and the frames around the windows going to be white or are they going to be a dark color like,
like,
so?
typical traditional white 4-panel.
I like what you propose.
Mhm.
If you'll change the chimney.
And of course, my little porch ceiling's gonna be blue.
Of course.
Yes, yes. Have to have that. I love all the detail in the drawings and I think it will convey nicely into building the actual structure. I like your choice in the shingles. And I think it's going to be a lovely addition to that roof. It'll look like it's been there forever.
Oh, it will.
Yeah.
And that's why I went on and painted the barn roof. It needed treatment terribly. It was in not terrible repair to the place it needed to be replaced.
Mhm.
But I was encouraged to paint it. I said, let's do the black, because if you do black house, everything kind of ties in the colors.
Right, right.
So,
But I agree about the chimney. I would love to see it in the brick, just to be consistent going on up, and all the houses down that street are, the old. I think it will make it look finished.
Is that-
I would make a motion that we accept this as presented with the caveat of brick for the chimney above the roof line.
And not the barn shutters, or you would then include that?
Did you pollute
I
the
would-
panel shutter or the?
I'm not hung up about the shutters. I was just making a
Oh,
comment about the fact that on the porch, they're much more protected than they are elsewhere. And that if that was a concern about how fast they might deteriorate, then it shouldn't be a concern.
If I may, quick question, foundation height from ground to first floor, 36 inches,
I can't
if I'm
remember.
not mistaken.
Right,
We can the only reason I say this, the plans show 4 foot to the actual top of the floor. If, I'd like to just hit whatever that requirement is.
We don't have a specific height as far as the historic district guidelines.
Okay.
It's just raised slab on grade versus
For all.
crawl space.
The crawl space,
It will, definitely,
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
So as long as I meet my minimum. code
The
for
the
appearance.
building code would dictate
Okay,
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
And I love the little stoop over the back. I guess it's the grilling porch in the back.
right. And that stoop will not go all the way over the whole part of the deck. That was, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of partial.
It looks like the little eyebrow over the
Oh, it
the
does.
barn. Yeah, yeah. Like this.
Yes, this is extra space.
Is anyone willing to second David's motion?
I'll second.
All right, please answer yea or nay.
I'm in favor, yes.
In favor?
Beth,
yes.
Yes.
Nancy? Yes. So, very good. We wish you well.
I'll send y'all the certificate of approval tomorrow.
Okay. And I can just apply normally.
I'll link your BAR permit.
Okay. All right, 'cause I'll point
So
out-
Laura, I think you can just use your artistic eye and use what shutters you prefer.
Yeah.
Our next one is 215 Marion Avenue.
Jason Bernard with JVS Homes. And I'm proposing to build a house at 215 Mary.
Tell us about it.
Originally, we were going to build it at 219, but then we figured out it'd take a bridge in order to access the lot.
For that.
Creek. It's there on the right-hand side, so we decided to leave 219 alone as really unbuildable at this point, and then just transfer that same drawing over to 215, just a mirror image.
So do you own both lots?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll be nice to be able to look out over.
Yes, ma'am. Well, the idea is we'll sell that lot along with this house.
Mhm.
So whoever buys the house will include that lot.
And tell us about what you plan to do.
You go ahead and tell us. Tell us about the project.
Okay, well, it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, crawl space, lap siding, cementous board, lap on the first floor with up top there, I'll do the board and batten. Windows, vinyl window with the darker bronze is what we have planned on installing in this house. A detached garage, 2-car garage,
To be simulated divided light.
simulated by light. Yes, sir. The front door will do a mahogany, I believe it's 3/4 light. As far as the paint colors go, I want to paint it white and then all natural on the wood, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. The shingles on top will be a 30-year high definition black shingle.
What'd you say about natural wood?
For the mahogany at the front door,
Oh, okay.
but everything else is the cementous board. Screen and back porch, we added that from the original 219 design of the back porch there.
Will this be the architectural thickness? Hardy plank,
Uh,
thicker?
Yeah, well, it's the standard standard cementous product that's out there right now. I believe it's 7 1/4 with a lap. It comes down to a 6-inch reveal. So it's 7 1/4, but it's your standard hardy board, your standard cementous board that everyone else is using. It's 7 1/4. It's
I'm not talking about that reveal. I'm talking about the
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 thickness.
thickness of,
That makes a difference in the shadow appearance.
oh, I see. It's quite, the proposal is the standard, whatever thickness that is. I need to look that up and see what exactly that is.
We've been trying to talk people into using the architectural thickness, which
It'll be just like with the previous builder. We received the encroachment permit today for the driveway by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. The driveway is fairly long and it's actually is a circular feature. If you look at the overall, yeah,
Is that a tree in the center?
that's right now. Well, there could be a little something of a scrub there, but
It's a turning, the not to interrupt you, the fire marshal requested that there be turnaround space
Mhm.
so they
Perfect.
could access the property because this project did go, because of the issues with the other lot and having to build a bridge. This proposal went before the technical review committee, which involves planning, engineering, the fire marshal, the building department, water and sewer.
yes,
Because
we
we
had
wanted to make
access.
sure this was a feasible
Mhm.
project.
Mhm.
There's a chain link fence on the property?
That's for silt fencing.
Say it again?
Silt fencing, so it's just for construction.
I believe there is a little bit of chain link fence, but that's coming down.
It says.
Yeah. On the left side.
Mhm.
I was looking, when you're looking at the front door, that side of the house, that would be the right side of the house.
The reason,
The positioning of the windows kind of bothers me. Now, how there aren't any windows by the front door and then upstairs.
it's an actual bedroom, bathroom.
Upside down.
area.
Okay.
We're upside
I
down.
wasn't able to really view the plans last night because they were so teeny tiny on my computer
Mhm.
and really couldn't see them very
Oops.
well.
I could
Upside down.
I could install in the front door there 2 side lights.
It's asking me to start a 7-day trial to rotate the page. This is the front door here. Beth.
Oh, there you go.
So you have a closet here and then a study, looks like.
Study bedroom,
Yeah.
right, slash bedroom.
Let me zoom in a little bit more. So here's the front door.
And the porch wraps around.
Yes. Front porch wraps around. Then there's a porch on the back that's screened in. 2 French doors.
like the French doors.
Screen porch there.
That could be some kind of window. To the
Question.
left of the entrance door would help.
There's a little room
It'd be
for
to
it.
the right. If it was right side up.
Rebecca,
Would be
can you
to
go
the
back
left.
to the
If you're looking at it,
elevations?
Oh, I'm looking at the house instead of from the house, sorry.
Here.
Mhm.
This view right here is actually, it's on the right side of the lot. So that's not the front.
Mhm.
You show the plot and where the house sits again, how the house sits again.
So here's the front door, the elevation y'all are asking about is here.
So Marion's down at the bottom of the,
Yeah, and
Big-
even with the trees that are being removed, I doubt you would even be able to see. I mean, I
So
think you might be
really-
able to see the house, but
really from the street, we're looking at the end of the house.
Correct.
The left, I guess you'd call that the left elevation,
it would be this
That would be
elevation.
the front.
front elevation, okay.
So the front elevation faces which road?
Marion.
Marion.
Marion?
And
This kind of gives you a better idea. So these are the two lots.
Right.
There's a house
But-
here currently.
Right.
And this is Marion.
And where is Tupper? Is Tupper just to the left of this, Tupper Lane just to the left of this property?
Correct.
Or,
It's,
Tupper should be,
you go one house over.
it's beyond the 201?
I believe it's just
Yeah.
adjacent to that other house right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is,
this would be back here. This is the proposed
so-
area for the house.
it's not really a big issue, the way that that's cited on the property, Beth.
True.
It
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
looks good from the street.
Yeah, yeah. I just like everything balanced, you know? True, the front of the house, and you really, it's pretty far in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, ma'am, it is. We had to stick it back there.
Set way back.
So this house sits a little closer to this side property line here, so probably wouldn't be able to see the garage at all. And maybe a glimpse of the front of the house, it looks like.
I'm less concerned now.
Because it's set back.
Well, because it's really around the corner where
Mhm.
nobody's gonna
Mhm.
Really not.
see it.
Okay.
Any shutters being used on
I'm
the
not
house?
planning on using any shutters in this house.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
The windows are gonna be traditionally done with sills, not picture framed.
The exterior? The
Yeah.
exterior, the exterior will all be, they'll be trimmed out with the same hardy, the cement.
Right, but will they be picture
Sill.
framed or will they have a traditional sill with vertical members?
The idea is just to have you referring to the divided light?
Nope,
Is-
we're talking about the frame around the window.
Okay, it'd be a 6-inch hardy trim. The nominal, like 1 inch or 3/4 inch thick.
Right,
I think he's talking about
The
a
seal at the bottom.
a sill where at the bottom where a bird could sit on it, essentially, how to describe it.
Oh, I see. No, what we wanted to do is have all the rain to be able to get diverted off and not stick.
they'll
up
have a
this.
sill
So it will be a seal, but it'll be at slight
and
angle.
the verticals will come up and butt into it.
Yes, yes.
So I see where there's a fireplace, but I don't see the chimney. Am I missing something?
No, it's just, it's a gas. It's a
okay.
gas fireplace. The proposal is a gas fireplace. And just, we'd like to just do a direct vent
Mhm.
on the back left-hand side. It sits so far back there off the street.
Is this being built as a spec house?
Yes, sir.
And what is the roofing material?
It'd be a 30-year composite black high definition architectural shingle. We like to paint the house white.
And the little, the slats between the pillars on the bottom?
The vents.
Yeah, the vents,
The
those
louvers,
are
1x4.
1x4.
Yes.
Are they going to be white as well?
Yes. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but yes, I like as much white as I can, but if we have to go with an off-color white for the trim, that's fine as well.
I've seen them painted a dark, like a Charleston green. It's almost like they fade out,
Mhm.
you know, and you can just see the columns.
With the matte finish, yeah, I like that. That's a nice look. Charleston white preferably, probably for the house.
Mhm.
And then the Charleston green is fine, or the hitching post. There's a couple others that dark on the darker black color.
If they're not white, the shrubbery, they won't have to be painted constantly with shrubbery in front.
That's true. Yes. So if we could keep it white, that would be fine.
So we don't worry about color at this point, do we? Just the design?
Right.
Okay.
Well, we do have color.
Is this a final review, Becca?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so we would,
so
Worry
color
about
is part of it.
Okay.
right?
So we have to include the color in
Yes.
this.
No, not necessarily, because colors can be approved at a staff level,
Okay.
unless it's in color that I feel is inappropriate for the district, then I would turn that back over to you.
Can you go back to the front door?
That's the front elevation. I don't even see a door. Wait a
It's
second.
around on the right
Oh.
side.
On the side. This is the front door.
Hmm.
I was just thinking that hallway is going to be really dark, but it has the 3/4.
Quarter light.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you're going with a board and batten type in the,
Oh, for the
Gables.
louvers.
uh,
Yeah, I think the matte, it gives it more, it's a dull, a more of a dull instead of a sheen, the satin. And so the matte finish, I think it looks better. Instead of having a shiny louver, you'd have a, maybe like the back of your computer, more of a matte, a non-shiny.
Okay.
Is that the question you asked?
hmm?
Were you asking about the board and batten?
Yeah, the top,
And board,
why?
board and batten feature in the gables.
Oh, it's just,
Oh, the vertical.
it was just what our designer, Daryl Cobb, had come up with. Just to have something a little bit different, that was all. Of course, when comes time for a paint selection, we could paint that different. All the gables, they can be painted different, or that would also provide a little bit more depth.
Any other questions?
I don't think I would be enthusiastic about painting the gables a different color.
And that's, we're open to, it could be all white. We're open.
Let Becca fight that one.
You're using vinyl windows as opposed to vinyl clad.
That's the proposal right now, is the vinyl window with the dark bronze exterior instead of the white. That's what we're proposing. We double hung.
We have a motion.
I don't think I have any more questions.
Yep. I think I could move to accept it as presented. I don't think we made any changes, did we? Beth?
Mm-mm.
Second,
A second.
please answer. Will your name called? Beth?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Yes.
David? Jay?
Yes.
I say yes. So,
All right, I'll send you the certificate tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
You're
thank you
welcome.
very much.
All right, y'all. I gave you your historic district guidelines update that we went over at a previous meeting. On the little handout I gave you, I just highlighted what was added and or changed. I'm going to have our planning assistant go in and make sure there aren't any grammatical errors, and make sure all of the figure numbers are correct. And then he will update it and we'll post it to the website. So if there's any changes that need to be made that you see, otherwise y'all can discuss or make a vote. And these can always be changed if needed, if anything.
Is this for us to take home and look at, or?
Nope, this is for you to vote on today.
Tonight.
It pretty much looks like what we had talked about when we had our,
It is.
um,
It's what I wrote in my notes.
Becca, is there anything in here about the having a stock type looking fence?
Yeah. It's.
I think I put blockade instead of stockade. So there's that. I'll have them change that. But yes, under D, privacy fencing / stockade style fencing should be avoided where possible and will be reviewed on a case by case basis.
So we just changed blockade to stockade.
No, that was my typo. I added that into the guidelines. So that's not currently in the guidelines.
Okay.
Becca, one of the reasons that so many people had been going to attached garages is that the ordinance, the way it used to be written, allowed a greater height if it was attached to the house than if it were detached.
You're
Has that
talking
been
about the zoning
changed?
ordinance?
Hmm?
Are you talking about the zoning ordinance
Yeah,
or our guidelines?
well, it used to be that way, and I don't know whether the UDO changed that or not.
It didn't.
Does it, like I say, you couldn't put for instance, a second floor in a detached garage because you were required to not go over 20 foot, I think it was.
So it was changed from, the 20 foot was changed from an actual limitation to just no higher than the primary residence. That was what changed.
Okay, it was changed to that.
Yeah.
But
that didn't-
That was the big reason that a lot of people went for an attached garage, because they could then
Do a frog.
Mhm.
do a frog and be the same height as the house, whereas if they put it out in the back, you were limited on the height of what you could.
Yeah, the ordinance was changed to no taller than the primary residence from 20 feet.
I know mine was, I couldn't put a second floor or anything in it because it would have been too high.
Well, now you can.
Hmm.
I said, now you can.
It was built under the old ordinance.
Do we
Any
need a
other-
motion to vote on these changes?
You want us to vote on the
Yes,
change?
yes, please. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
hear that.
I
I thought-
move that we accept the changes as submitted by you.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Good, thank you very much.
Thank you. And if no one has anything else other than welcoming Jane aboard, we can have a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
I have a second.
Everybody agree with it? Cut your mic off and
Amen.